Well, that wasn't exactly the first start. I would say he's had a few starts, but that was, I've had to bypass the, hang on, let's just shut my garage door, let some of the smoke out here. I had to bypass the side stand switch because I got the light working on the switch and I thought that was it, that when you put the stand down the light came on, but when I started this up on Friday, I noticed it ran okay. Well, there was a few problems, but I'll explain them later. But it ran okay in neutral. As soon as I put it in gear, it just shut down. No matter what I did, I couldn't do. So I went on a lot of forums, reading up like you do, and I've been told that it's the side stand switch. Now they're like over £100 if you can get one. So what I did was actually bypass the side stand switch. I've taken that off, and I'll just get around here. I mean, it goes onto there. Oh, I can't find it at the moment, but it went on the side stand. So as you turn the side stand, it's got like a track on it. So as you open or shut the side stand, it actually comes off of the track. Now, obviously, that was for the light, but it wasn't in very good condition because, like you know, this is a 17 owner bike. You know, it's taken me a lot of work to get this frame and everything. If you'd seen it, you know, when I first got it. But anyway, I went on Aprillia forum, and what I did was up this wire. Where are we? Oh, I'm not very good at walking around with a camera. Okay, it's in here somewhere. Oh, I can't find it. I've got everything else apart from that. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Now, this is the loom that comes out of here. And it goes into this, and this went down to the side stand. Now this, what I've done, well, what people do is they put a loop. So it tells the ECU that the side stand's actually up, and so the engine will run. So all I've done is I cut the plug off the old side stand switch because it's not, you know, it's not any good to anyone. I will get one eventually, but you know, I want to have a little drive around on this when I get all the bodywork sorted. So that was the first kind of headache. Again, the frame, I spent like a day on this side and a day on the other side, and then I think I went over it again because, you know, I do this in a garage and it looks lovely, and you take it in the daylight and you'll see all little scratches in it because I do it with kind of there's some big digs in it, you know, so I've done it with some sort of fairly coarse emery cloth, and then I went down to 600, 800, then down to 1200, and then I got the buffing wheel out, and I put a lot of different compounds, you know, to polish it with. You know, it's been quite interesting, but God, you get so dirty. Whatever comes off of that frame, I think you get black, you know, you look like a coal miner by the time you're finished. But the other thing we had to do, apart from loads, is this footrest hanger here. I think it was this one, or it might have been the other side. No, I think it was the other side where the gear lever is. Now, this one was okay. I managed to get a lot of scratches out of it and polish it up, you know, all that kind of thing. I've replaced all the screws. They're all stainless. One or two I've left, but I will get them eventually. So all stainless screws. And what you've got to remember, when you put stainless screws into alley and stuff like that, you must use a little bit of like copper slip grease. You know, the copper grease? I mean, some of the kits I bought to put stuff on, they actually come with the copper grease, you know, like a little packet of it. So that's one thing you must do. On this foot hanger here, I also, you can imagine what this brake lever was like. It was like, it was kind of S-shaped, you know. I think everyone must have gone down on this bike at one time or another, crashed it, you know. I mean, there weren't a screw on it that I could undo. The heads were gone and all that kind of thing, you know. But that's okay. you know, I've kind of saved it. The engine's all been rebuilt. The engine should be new seals, crank bearings, the lot, new piston and liner, cylinder. That's all been done. I've managed to bleed the pump. You know, it's all new to me, but it come out okay. Swinging arm. That was another mission because that was really bad. You know, when people take the wheel out and chain out and stuff like that, and that was ever so bad. I kind of polished it all up and I gave it a light coat of silver on the inside, which made it look, you know, nice. I've got all the airbox to go on here, but the thing I've got at the moment is it's running miles too rich. I'm checking the jetting out on it, and this is a de-restricted. It's a 122 engine, and it's got a 28mm carb on it. Now the standard jetting should be, a main jet, should be 120. Now this bike has actually got a 170 main jet. Can you believe that? So it's kind of running very rich, and you know, it's just going to wash the bore. So because I've got, I don't know if you've seen the pipe on it, I've got a Janelli pipe and expansion chamber. We've got this lovely pipe. I've been told by a mate of mine that I should go for about a 135, but I'm really struggling to find a 135 main jet. So if you know anyone who sells them or does a mail order or something like that, all different, you know, I would like to get a little box of jets. I think you can buy them where you actually, you know, you can have a play and whatever to put in. Now, this is the ECU. Now, I've been told, I mean, I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, in there, can you see a slightly different colour? There's a little bit of filler in there. Now, this is because how they de-restrict them. It's not just the engine as well. This, I think, releases the power valve. Now, I know the guy, well, I bought one of these many years ago, and the guy lifted the seat up, he chopped through a wire, and it was done. Now, I believe on the net they probably tell you how to do this, but I haven't done it. It's already been done. But I can see someone's been in there, and obviously they must have done a de-restriction mod. I think the power valve's working. I've not really had a good look at it yet, because you know, I've been having problems with it running. It ran and then it sort of petered out, and I cleaned all the carburetor out again, although it's been, you know, redone. And then she started again, and it's been fine since then. Now, this is the other footrest hanger. Now, the one that I had on it was bent right into the swinging arm, so I couldn't really do, you know, much with that. I tried to straighten it, but it cracked, and I thought I'd get it welded, but I kept looking, you know, there are tons of right-hand ones, but the left-hand, no one had a left-hand footrest. All the breaker shafts and places I tried, I could not get a left-hand, you know, footrest hanger. I tried and tried and tried. Eventually, I got a pair of them, which I bought, and I think I've actually got the other one on there because it was better condition than my original one. So I managed to get a pair of them, only for about 40 quid, something like that. It wasn't that expensive. But again, as you can imagine, the gear lever, that was a mission. You know, lucky enough, you can sort of bend them and, you know, you can form them. Because not only are they kind of bent in, they're sort of bent up and they're twisted. And there's a special way you have to kind of bend sort of into the bend and then bend it all out again from a different place to get it all nice and straight, you know. I sort of learnt that off of flying helicopters and bits and pieces like that. I made a new gear rod linkage. That's out of stainless steel, and I put a knurl on it. So this is all good. As you can see, I've got some copper grease on there. This is still a little bit kind of wobbly. I'm going to have a look at that, if I can do something with that. But for the time being, I bought a new footrest rubber. I had these from many years ago. They were from my boy's bike when it got knocked over outside in the road, and the guy got us 2 new footrests, but I repaired the other one and we never put these on, and I actually found them in the loft. So lucky enough, I've got 2 new footrests. I'm hoping to change all the brake pipes for Goodrich hoses. That's in a future time, because the bodywork's going to cost me an arm and a leg, and I'm not really sure where I'm going with that. Now, the swinging arm, that was a mission in itself, another new one for me. But that's the main bolt that goes through. Now, not only does this bolt go through the whole swinging arm, it actually goes through the engine as well. So it's, you know, you have to put the bike on axle stands, and it's quite a fiddly job to do. Now, I didn't take the bike apart, so I didn't know how. There was a lot of spaces and shims and things like that. I didn't know how it went back together, and I actually bought a manual, and it was still really hard to see. And I even went on, I think it was Fowler's site, and they had one of the like top hat bushes ran the wrong way on that. So, and then I found out there was like what they call clearance washers. So what they are is they're like a plastic or nylon washer, which goes, I think it goes, yeah, in this side. And you put them in there, then you put the bolt through, and on this side, you've got like a castle nut there, and you torque up the swinging arm bolt through there at a certain torque, and there's like another little top at this side which screws into the frame, and then you just nip that out. I think it's got a torque on that as well. You just take that out, so there's no play in the swinging arm, and then you lock up this castle nut here, which is another new one. But you know, if you've not done this before, and you haven't got, you know, instructions, things like that, you've got to sort of follow your nose. But once I got the proper clearance washers, they've got like varying sizes, so you can sort of have a little play with them. It was sort of fairly straightforward, but you know, when you've got the engine on a jack up in the air and you're trying to slide the swinging arm through and all that, it gets quite complicated. I've tidied up all the wiring best I can. We've got a new chain. This rear wheel I painted myself, because I don't know if you remember seeing it, they were that horrible yellow. So I've done the wheels myself. The tyres are quite new. Sprocket looks all good. I've got stainless steel chain adjusters. The shocks was all good, so that's okay. I've still got to put the indicators on, but I've got to find the wires, they're in there somewhere. This is the original tank, cleaned up fairly good. Take notice of the tank, that's only on there for me to run it. Now this I'm a bit disappointed with. This was the yokes, and this was absolutely beautiful finish on it. I rubbed it down to bare metal, and it was, you know, it was clean as you like. And I put some X primer on it, and I sprayed it in gloss back, and it looked beautiful. But over the few months it's been out here, it's kind of looks like it's been pitted, and you know, and even the keys, so it's ticking over with the keys rubbing on there. You see it there, it's taking the paint off, so this is going to have to be redone. Plus, I've got these re-anodised, but I mean, look at it, they're horrible. And I took the forks up to a shot of mine to try and sort out the speedo, and I actually dropped both of them because they were linked up onto the floor, and I ruined them anyway. But I weren't bothered, because you know these should be a nice bright blue, you know, anodised finish. So I've got to try and find someone. I've actually bought a second-hand pair now, and I'm going to try and clean them up and see if I can get them redone, because I think it really lets the bike down. I've got new head races in here. We've got a taper at the bottom, and there's a great big like bearing that goes in the top here, huge. We've got all the, obviously we've got the lead neutral light. I've got the flashlight, and I think if I go through, if I can find it now, I was playing with it last night. That's the time, and I think this is the, I've got a little button. It's right under here somewhere, if I can find it. I can't. Set away. Where are we going? I think one of these should start the code. I think one of these should start the timer on here, if I can remember rightly. That's, I think the middle one does something. Right, let's see if it starts the timer. It's just going through the laps. Let's see if I can press it in again. No, she's not. I had it working last night, but it's typical, isn't it, when you want to do a video. Maybe that'll clear it. No. Oh well, probably someone will tell me. But there's a little button under the handlebar, and it'd be really cool to see how quick I can get out of the pub on this bike. So I'm looking forward to setting that. It's going through its little things now. So I'll put it back to where we were. I mean, it did set that back to 0, but I put the time on it. Is it the bottom one? Oh, I don't know. But that works. The indicator light will work. The oil light, low warning light, that works. The side stand light did work, which is there. But obviously, I've had to do away with that or she won't run. I put all stainless steel screws in everything. The kill switch didn't work, but now I've wired it up differently. That seems to be working okay. Now, the speedo drive was a mission in itself because, you know, this is a beautiful brand new front wheel. And the guy told me that, yes, it will fit my bike. It's the year, blah, blah, blah. But when I got it, it didn't. And he was telling me that he would take it back and get me another wheel, and it went on forever, and you know, I got nothing back out of him. So I decided to see if I could fit it onto this wheel, which, you know, I had to make a couple of spacers, little bits and pieces, but, you know, to be honest with you, it wasn't that bad. But, you know, this is nearly £100, you know, it's just ridiculous money. And I think so was the intake, because I had to buy a new intake manifold, because the original one was a 34 and my carb was a 28, and they'd clamped the Jubilee clip down so hard, but I think that's the reason that it, you know, it blew up, because it had the wrong side manifold on it. But, you know, Aprillia bits are so expensive, so if I can get them second hand and refurbish them, you know, I'm quite happy with that. The radiator, I mean, it looks new, doesn't it? But that was another mission in itself. It was absolutely clogged with mud. I've managed to wash it out and blow it out. Then I sat there for probably about 4 or 5 hours, picking all the fins nice and straight and getting them to look, you know, like they should do. So that should be okay. It's not leaking. I've got the right amount of coolant in them. So I've tried to clean the wiring. I've got all the luminous sprocket holders in the frame, so, you know, that's how it all should be. Forks got new seals in them, changed the oil, they've got new dust caps, new seals, everything like that. The speedo cable I bought, but to me it looks a bit long, but, you know, what do I know? Maybe when I get the bearings and stuff like that, you know, it might go on the outside and fit. Because I have got all the bodywork for this, and I should imagine when it was first done, it would probably look quite trick, but it's kind of, some of the mounting holes are wrong, and you know, it's been painted a bit, you know, there's not really nice sharp lines on the paint and all stuff like that. So I'm not sure which way to go with the paint. Chinese do some sort of copies of them, quite nice. You know, they do a replica bodywork, which I could go down that line, or I could take my, you know, bodywork to someone and say, oh, I'll do that, you know. But that's probably going to be more expensive at the moment, you know. Especially when I just bought, I've just actually bought an L400 engine. I don't know if you saw Dennis Dempsey open it last night, but you know, it's a self-built kit engine. It's made by, you know, Toyon, which, you know, so if you can imagine, it's like that, but it's a 4-cylinder and you build it yourself. And when I see him open that last night, I thought, I've got to have one of them. So I've ordered one of them, which weren't cheap. And like I say, I've got this, and I've got all the bodywork to do, you know, and I've also got my helicopter, which is on the back burner. I had to fix my lathe today. This is my lathe where I actually do most of my work. It's one of the best things I've ever bought. It's a Warco lathe, you know, and I've been doing a little bit of work on it today, but I've had a problem with the brake over the last few weeks. The brake wasn't working properly, and I do like to have a brake. It's safe, you know. And I took the back of the lathe off, and I couldn't really see what was wrong with it. So I kind of adjusted up the foot brake, and I got the brake working. But where it had actually moved the lever for the brake, for the adjustment, the micro switch on it wasn't touching. So I tried to bend it and all stuff like that, and in the end I couldn't get it to work. So I took the switch off, and I've noticed there's a little tag on the back, and you can bend it to stop it dropping down too far, which it was. So I've done that, and now it's all working perfectly. So hopefully that'll be good for another, how long, I don't know. But you know, I know it's quite a big lathe, but even if you've got a small lathe, there's so many things you can do. Like all my trucks and stuff like that, I could do most of it on a little lathe. You know, they're absolutely fantastic. You can mill on them, you can do anything, just a few tools. I get guys asking me, you know, could I build one of them toy-on cars, you know, with simple tools. And the clone is very simple. If you bought the engine in a Revo box, a Tractor's Revo box, it almost goes straight in. Now, you know, this is quite complicated because I've made up my own gear change setup and stuff like that, you know. So, you know, it could be done with, you know, the toy-on single cylinder is a great little engine. I still haven't got this running right yet, and I've not actually been out to try it on my new gearing because it's just rained every day, and now we're in lockdown, you know, so I can't go out. We're in lockdown over here in the UK, so I can't do anything. So that's why I've been sort of messing about with the Aprillia, trying to get the Aprillia up and running. It just take me like a week. Now, the other thing I've got is I've always liked these Tamiya F201s, they are. They were sort of brought out only for a couple of years, but they're like a Formula 1 four-wheel drive car. Fantastic things, you know, I love them. Ball diff front and back. But they're getting so rare now to get them. It's hard to get parts from. I've actually made up these rockers on here, I don't know if you can see them, because you can't get them for love nor money, and they just break all the time. The plastic seam, even new ones, you put them in and one little run and they just fall apart. So this is brushless, it's just a nice combo, 7.2, that's for runs superb. My mate's got one as well, and there's some great racing with them, and they handle, you know, great. Now another thing, I bought one of these Christmas because it reminds me, yep, of that. And this is a Formula E, Tamiya TC01, I believe. And I built this, and this is a beautiful car. There's no slop, not like the usual Tamiya. No slop, nothing. It's a really well designed car. The only thing is, I don't know if you can see where I've had to shoehorn the radio in that. There's no room. It fits in under here, and the receiver's under there. There was absolutely no room. You've got to buy the smallest receiver ESC you can. There's a Castle Sidewinder in there. It just about goes in. And I think I've got a Spectrum S300 in there. So there's hardly any room. But once it's in there, it's a nice combo, you know. And I bought the solid one-way, solid front diff. So this should drive like a touring car. If I can get a ball diff for the back, they do them. But there's not many parts around for this at the moment. I think I've seen some sway bars on, but you know, when you look at the options you can get for this, loads of stuff, and it's all blue, you know, lovely stuff. But the big headache now I've got is to do the bodywork. Now, I don't know if you've seen other videos on the Formula E. The bodywork is made out of about 6 or 7 bits, you know, you've got to cut them all out, and you've got to mask them all up, you've got to paint them, and you've got to put them all together. You know, that's on the back burner for a while, but I will get around to that. But at the moment, I'm trying to get this bike, you know, up and running, and a few of my other little projects out of the way. But like I say, when I get the 400 engine, that's going to go in an 8 scale. I've got an idea what that can go in, which is quite simple, and an automatic 3-speed box on it. So that's what I'm hoping to do. But you know, I bought some Old Man Emu Nitro shocks to go on here. I've just got the front ones in the moment because they're bloody expensive as well, you know. It's only a sticker, you know, they're just like a standard shock inside. There's nothing to them, but they work well. They do work well, I must admit. And that might take some of the bounce out of this truck, you know. So anyway, there you have it, guys. There's a few of my toys. I think under there is a Triumph 900 and all my planes. I'm gradually selling quite a few planes and stuff to fund my other projects. But, you know, there's a lossy fifth down there somewhere. Yep, there she is. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Stay safe. I mean, I can't go out or do anything, so I'm going to be out here fiddling, you know. But really now it's down to, I've got to find a 135 main jet, because with that genetic exhaust on there, I don't think I can run a 120, so it's got to be like a 135, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting one. So, like I said, if any of you guys that know where I can, in the UK, I can get a 135 main jet for the Aprilia, I'll be happy. So I'm going to sign out now, guys. I'll see you in the next one.